The next time you fry up some bacon, don't just check out the crispy bits. Watch the pan. When a cloudy white liquid appears in the pan around the bacon, but before the fat even starts to melt, then there's definitely something wrong, because that liquid is not natural bacon fat. It's mostly water that's been injected into the meat before the package even got to your fridge. And here's the bad news. There are millions of consumers who think they're getting premium pork, while in fact, they're buying meat that was artificially increased in size by adding water. Shoppers don't realize that. The packaging seems okay, the smell of the bacon seems okay, but once the bacon gets heated up in a pan, then everything changes. In today's video, we're going to examine 10 of America's largest bacon producers to figure out what's really in the package, what producers use water injections, chemical additives, and other tricks, and what producers are making bacon the old-fashioned way. Stick to the end of the video, since we're also going to show you one easy way to test your bacon in the kitchen. The truth about bacon. The real bacon recipe is quite straightforward. The basic ingredient for traditional bacon is pork belly. It is cured, smoked, sliced, and packed. This is how bacon had been traditionally prepared. However, many of the bacon brands sold at supermarkets prepare bacon differently. As soon as the process of curing starts, the meat receives injections of water, salt, sugar, and other phosphate-containing elements. Why? Since additional moisture adds extra weight to the meat. The heavier the bacon is, the more product there will be. After all, this extra water just evaporates when the product is put into a frying pan. There is another curing agent in some products, sodium nitrite, which is traditionally used to preserve color and extend the shelf life of a product. And it turns out that if bacon is fried in really high temperatures, then those agents help to create certain chemicals which are potentially harmful. That is why checking the ingredients is so important. So let us take a closer look at the first brand. Brand number 10. Great Value Bacon, Walmart. Great Value Bacon is often the choice for many families. It's cheap, convenient, and it's available in almost all Walmart stores. However, that's not necessarily the whole picture. Check the back of the package, and you'll see that it's not just pork. The ingredients include added water, sugar, sodium phosphates, sodium erythorbate, and sodium nitrite. Some of those ingredients are not there for taste purposes. They are frequently used for preserving moisture, for improving appearance, and for the curing process. Independent taste tests have even called this bacon thin and inconsistent compared to several other competing brands. One other fact which shoppers will probably never know: Walmart does not specify the processor responsible for the production of every package of Great Value Bacon. Depending on where the bacon is manufactured, the producer can vary without any change to the front packaging. You are purchasing one brand, but the producer of that bacon might very well be changing from time to time. So now we'll go on to a brand which most consumers think is an exclusive to a premium warehouse store. Brand number 9. Kirkland Signature, Costco. Costco is known for providing products of good quality and at the best price. It means that people associate the brand of Kirkland products with high quality and value. However, when it comes to bacon, there is one thing that people do not really know. Whose bacon is it? For many years, people have associated this bacon with Hormel and then with Smithfield, but Costco has never specified which company is the manufacturer of their raw bacon. It is easier to see what ingredients are included into their bacon. The most common ones are water, salt, sugar, sodium erythorbate, sodium phosphate, and sodium nitrite, a classic industrial curing system used by many commercial bacon brands. In other words, even though the label might look luxurious, production processes can seem quite familiar. And the next company has already had many legal issues. Brand number 8. Farmland. Here comes brand number 8, Farmland. The first impression suggests that this is another typical example of an American bacon brand. However, upon deeper analysis, a significantly bigger company becomes noticeable through the packaging. Farmland is produced by Smithfield Foods, one of the biggest producers of pork in the world. As for its ingredients, Farmland represents one more case of the formula used extensively throughout the industry. Among other ingredients, pork is typically combined with sodium phosphate, sodium erythorbate, and sodium nitrite. Such curing agents make the product more durable, provide better coloration, and ensure additional water content within the meat. In what way does it work out? Typically, such a combination produces bacon that releases a lot of liquid even before the fats melt. Moreover, recent years have seen further scientific research regarding the potential impact of phosphate-rich processed meats. Although there is a need to investigate some questions further, it is recommended by nutritionists not to consume processed meat products if possible. Farmland might seem traditionally familiar from the outside, but behind its labels stands a highly industrialized process. Brand number 7, Bar E's. If saving cash is your mission, then Bar S might be just right for you. It's one of the least expensive bacon products found in most groceries, and this is exactly why it is popular. But there are always reasons why things cost less. Saving is seldom achieved due to use of higher quality pork. Companies try to lower manufacturing costs by accelerating the process, adding curing solutions and moisture-enhancing substances. This means more liquid in the pack, more shrinkage during frying, and less bacon on your plate after you cook it. Consumers tend to think that all products cook equally well, but put a premium dry cured bacon alongside an extremely enhanced one, and you will notice the difference right away. While one will hold its shape, the other one will lose a lot of its volume while you are still getting ready for breakfast. And speaking about products which consumers think to be healthier automatically. Brand number 6, Butterball Turkey Bacon. Turkey bacon has now been one of the most sought-after alternatives to classic pork bacon. The advertising is very convincing. Less fat, healthier choice, better breakfast. However, the ingredients list reveals the truth in greater depth. While pork belly is a whole cut of meat, most turkey bacon consists of finely minced turkey meat mixed into strips. In order to create the taste of traditional bacon, manufacturers have to use various binders, curing agents, oils, and phosphates. In other words, changing the animal does not mean less processing. It may still undergo almost the same industrial curing process like regular bacon. For those who try to reduce the consumption of processed food, that is a significant detail, since turkey does not always imply less processed. And as we approach the top 5, you will be able to see an interesting feature. Some of the most trusted family brands in America are far from independent companies they appear to be. Brand number 5, Wright Brand. For decades, Wright Brand has developed its identity based on the notion "Air Classic Texas Bacon." The product packaging emphasizes traditional smoking process, big slices of the meat, and 100 years of history. This makes the consumer believe he is buying a product from a traditional family company which hasn't been changed since the beginning. That time has passed. In fact, Wright Brand is owned by Tyson Foods, which means one of the biggest meat producers in America owns this brand. The history could be true. The original recipe could inspire the contemporary production of the bacon. However, the business identity of the product is not an independent company, which consumers think about while purchasing this product. That is the typical situation we can observe in the grocery store. A popular family name continues to appear on the product's package, even when the ownership changes completely. While for many consumers, the history provides confidence. Brand number 4, Hormel Black Label. Hormel has been one of the most venerable names in American meat processing. Generations have had their Hormel products for breakfast without even thinking twice about it. Trust like that doesn't come overnight. However, big corporations do not only build up a reputation, they also get their fair share of scrutiny. Hormel was one of many companies that participated in numerous lawsuits over a period of time due to the suspicion of collusion in the pork industry. Even though the company settled the dispute without confessing to any wrongdoings, the suits brought up some serious questions concerning the issue of competition and pricing throughout the industry. The consumers don't have all that information written on the package labels while they choose between different brands in the grocery aisles. What they have is the familiar, trustworthy name. However, this history was created not by the modern owner of the product. Brand number 3, Smithfield. Finally, we reach one of the most prominent players in the whole pork market. Smithfield is not just the seller of its branded bacon. They own several other labels sold in American grocery stores. Thus, people usually think that there is a range of companies, while in fact, all those products might come from the same owner company. Throughout its history, Smithfield encountered many lawsuits related to pork industry, including very famous cases of price fixing resulting in large payouts. The firm has had product recalls as well. For example, one popular product recall case was associated with the detection of metal fragments in some packages of ready-to-eat bacon. Product recalls concern only particular batches of production. However, this is an important reminder. Even such big food corporations can make mistakes, and this is the very reason to be careful, not just paying attention to brand name, but also to company ownership, composition, and recalls. The more information you know, the less choice that seems to be independent. There are just 2 brands left on our list, and the first company in our list is not selling its own bacon. It is connected with several other names. Brand number 2, Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer is one of the most well-known brands in American grocery stores. Over the last many decades, families have relied on this brand name for breakfasts, lunches, and backyard barbecues. The brand's long history gives it a level of trust that not many food brands can afford. However, the fact is that today, Oscar Mayer belongs to Kraft Heinz, one of the largest food manufacturers in the world. Moreover, the brand has had a couple of product recalls over the past few years that got attention from all over the country. One of them was recall of turkey bacon because of potential contamination by Listeria monocytogenes. Recalls are limited to specific production lots, but the fact that even trusted brands can have food safety issues should not be overlooked. It happens to very few shoppers that they learn about such recalls unless they are watching the news at the time. And when months have passed and the brand is once again on the shelves, the same logo is there. People are buying the products as if nothing happened. Brand number 1, Tyson Foods. Tyson tops our list. Not your ordinary bacon manufacturer. This is one of the world's largest meat producers, distributing their meat products in grocery chains, restaurants, and food service organizations throughout the USA. One thing consumers should know about Tyson is that the brand's reach is much wider than the products bearing its name only. There are many other popular brands associated with the same corporate group. In other words, while people believe they are making decisions to purchase different companies' products, they might actually be purchasing the same parent company products under various names. In recent years, Tyson has also been involved in major court cases due to accusations in the pork industry. As a result, huge settlements have been reached among the several companies involved in the case. However, for the consumer, the most important thing is not what happens in the court of law. Instead, it is important to know how concentrated the meat industry is nowadays. Just several companies control huge percentages of products sold by retailers. Different packaging, different brand names, different marketing campaigns, but usually these are the same companies. And once you understand that pattern, grocery shopping starts to look very different. The big picture. Looking back at the above brands, one observation is inescapable. The number of brands seems to be competing against each other. However, beneath it all, there is often a common few companies controlling these brands. Moreover, the use of highly processed cures has become an industrial norm.